Hi, I'm back. So remember that last video and I said that I would never just like start making a video about my thoughts because my brain doesn't work like that. I can only start making a video if I'm like in the moment. I'm maybe like talking to myself about it, and then I catch myself and I'm like, I should make a video about this. Unless it's like a planned video, like I'm doing something. Like I'm planning to do some like food making videos on here. It's not just going to be me talking, like sitting and talking all the time. But as far as like sitting and talking videos go, they'll never be like planned. I can never just plan like I'm going to say this on this day. Like no. When it comes to me, I'll start talking and I'll switch the camera on. That's the only way I can really do this. So let's talk about today's subject. Today's subject is limerence. Put in like effects here. Pretend that I can edit and put effect here. I actually kind of can edit, but really shittily. But I can. But I'm just kind of lazy. So just pretend that there's sparkles here. Shoo, like sparkle effect. Limerence. Let's talk about limerence. Limerence, I learned about limerence from TikTok, and you'll see me reference TikTok all the fucking time in my videos because I'm just addicted to TikTok. I've referenced it all the time. To my friends, they're probably sick of me referencing TikTok all the time. It's literally my reference for everything. It's where I learn so many things because let's admit it, I have a crippling addiction to TikTok. So, I actually pulled up the definition of limerence in case you guys don't know what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is. So, just for context, when you have crushes on people, it can be split into two ways. So, the first way is like just a regular crush. The second way, it's called limerence, and it's a little bit different from a crush. So I'm just going to give the definition. This is the best definition I could find that I think embodies kind of the definition of limerence. So okay, so here's one of the definitions. Limerence is a state of involuntary obsession with another person. The experience of limerence is different from love or lust in that it is based on the uncertainty that the person you desire, called the limerent object in the literature, also desires you. Since limerence is the desire to be desired, it is cognitive as well as physical and an emotional experience. As the focus of limerence is whether or not the object of desire reciprocates the feelings, rather than actually falling in love with that person, it is almost always one-sided. Okay, that was not the best definition, actually. That's fucking ridiculous. No, that's not what I wanted. I'm sorry. What the fuck? So, in my eyes, limerence is like a crush. Except, okay, I don't want to say crush. I want to say you like the person. Because a crush indicates a lack of knowledge. You don't know much about that person enough to fall in love with them or really like them. Be close to the point of falling in love with them. Limerence is a bit more than a crush. When you fall in love with someone, you have to know about them. You can't just fall in love with someone you don't know or really like someone. I don't want to use the word love, like something that's close to love, something that like a lot of people have felt before, because I don't think a lot of people have like fallen in love. But I think a lot of people have come close to that point. So I'm going to say that because I think it's more realistic. So limerence is like when you fall in love, you have to know a lot about that person. because you have to have something to fall in love from. You can't just fall in love with someone because of how they look. That can be a huge factor, but what does the falling in love is learning about that person, right? Limerence is coming really close to that point. Like I said, maybe not necessarily love, but really liking them, but you don't know really that much about them because you haven't maybe spent a lot of time together. You haven't been really intimate with this person. Kind of how it's described there, it's kind of like a one-sided thing. It's true, limerence is a one-sided thing, but that person has the ability of liking you back. They just don't like you in the same way. Limerence is almost like an obsession with that person. Whereas that other person might like you, they might have a crush on you, they might be interested in you, but they're not as obsessed with you as you are. One side of it is like an interest. The limerence side is an obsession. And you can't call it love because you don't know enough about them. That's the best way that I can describe limerence. Yeah, basically the key like the key meaning is limerence is like you like that person more than they like you. So that's one key thing about limerence. And two, you're not obsessed with them because you know them as a person. You're obsessed with them because you're either obsessed with the idea of them, you're obsessed with how they look, how they act, how they present themselves. You're not obsessed with their inner self, their like them, because you don't know them. You don't know the deep parts of them. So let's get into how I experienced limerence and how I had to figure out why I was obsessed with this person, why I had limerence over this person. I just had to really become my inner therapist, my inner psychologist. And eventually I figured it out. And it actually tied to my social anxiety, which is funny. It's so funny. But I'll get into that. So, little bit of a backstory. This guy I met through work. I don't really know. Like, I want to get into the details, but we're probably gonna keep it vague, just in case, because I'm still posting online. There's still that the footprint, the digital footprint. So let's keep this vague. Probably if yeah, whatever. Okay. So yeah, there was this guy, and I remember meeting him for the first time, and I didn't think he was ugly, but I didn't think he was that attractive either. And then over time, like after seeing him a few times, I kind of like became really, really physically attracted. And he kind of became like my type, like to a T, like looks wise in every single way. And let's just say this guy was a red flag. Okay? That's an understatement. Now, I can't help that that's my type. I'm like a bull. You know those Spanish people? You know what are they called? You know the whole tourist, well, it's not a tourist thing only. It's like a whole tradition, right? But with the people, they hold up the red thing and then the bull runs through it. That bull is me. And that red cape is the red flag in men. And that's me running right towards it. Okay. So this guy, he was kind of an asshole. He was kind of an asshole. Not extremely liked by our crew because he was kind of lazy. Like he kind of worked hard, but he just didn't really give a fuck. at the same time. Like, he was lazy about other things. He'd go off to take a smoke like every few minutes, even if we needed help. Like, he just didn't give a fuck, right? Obviously he was nice to me, whatever. And this is where the, attraction on both sides is coming through. Like, limerence doesn't necessarily mean only, you are having feelings for them. Like, you can both have feelings for each other. It's just that on the limerence person's side, it's just way stronger. Way stronger. So fast forward, I mean, I'm not really gonna get into details, but I start really, really liking this guy. And I don't think about it in the moment, but it's been like, what, a whole year later. And there's been some ups and downs. I was definitely struggling to get over him. That's really embarrassing to admit, because we did like talk a few times, and like go out, but we didn't really get to know each other on a deeper level. Like, we probably knew the basics about each other, but we didn't see each other nearly enough to like create any kind of like connection. It was all like surface level stuff. But I really, really, oh my god, I liked this guy so much, and it's so embarrassing. And I was just kind of talking with my friend, like, thinking about why I liked this guy so much. And then I kind of slowly connected the dots. Basically, at work I struggle with social anxiety in every aspect of my life. And the biggest part of my social anxiety that bothers me is that I cannot be myself with most people. I think that I have a pretty decent personality. Like, I think I'm interesting enough to be with the right people. And I'm nice, I'm friendly. But I feel like I can't show the true sides of myself to most people, no matter how hard I try. With some people, it's very rare, but some people, it comes to me straight away. This is a really, really rare chance of this happening, but on first few times of meeting with this person, I can pretty much just be myself. This is a very small category. This category is like the majority of people. I'd say the majority of people, I can't be myself with them straight away, but after a while, once we get comfortable, I can pretty much be myself. Then there's this amount of people, and this is what bothers me the most. These people I've spent a lot of time with, and no matter how many times I see them, I just cannot be myself with them for the life of me. Now, I have a few reasons to why I suspect I can't get along with this group of people. A few reasons are they're older than me. I think of them highly, too highly. Like, I think of them as higher, like more important than me. Like, I'm probably put them on a pedestal. Yeah, those are the two most common. There's other examples, but that's not relevant here. So I was with these people in work, and with a small percentage, I could just be myself. But no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't be myself with the majority of my managers and my other coworkers. And it was very, very frustrating, because I have a lot of shit to talk about my coworkers, but one thing I will say about my coworkers and my managers is that they are fucking funny, and they have a lot of personality. You can talk shit about them, and I have, trust me. But one thing you cannot say is that they don't have personalities. So I just like thought that they were so funny, and I always remember like, fuck, like I really wish I could just get along with them and be myself, but I just fucking can't. Like I can't be myself. I can't let myself go with these people. And obviously it's because they were older than me, and also they were in positions of authority as well. And I just can't get along with people that are like above me in a way. Technically they're not above me, like we're all humans, whatever, but they're above me in work. And I think it's just because of school. Like the way we were brought up in school was to, there was a different, you know, the level that you had with your classmates and other like peers in school was different than the people above you. Like there was just, obviously that's kind of like the standard everywhere, like in work, in every place there's going to be someone that, you know, is a bit above you in terms of like I don't know, like in a job, like there will be like head of operations manager who will be above you, which obviously you pay them a certain amount of respect. You'd probably treat them in a different way than your coworkers. But the problem is, I think I kind of fail to distinguish between respect and just seeing them as like above me. And like it just makes me not be able to talk to them like 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 a normal person. Like I feel like that boundary is just like completely blurred for me. Like I don't know, I don't know how to talk to someone who is above me, and it's the same for anyone who's older than me. It's crazy. I don't know why. Like I have this amazing friend, and she's like a child. She acts like she's 16. She's so funny. But every time I'm with her, I just feel like I can't be myself. Like there's like an entire part of me that I just struggle to showcase. And I don't know why. I have this thing with people who are older than me. And anyway, back to the work thing. So I struggle to show my real personality. And obviously I'm an introverted person. I don't have a lot of self-confidence. Like especially since it was my first job. And you know, I don't usually talk to people first. If they talk to me, I'll talk to them, but I won't be the first one engaging in conversation. And like I said, it's hard for me to just be myself around everyone. So, you know, obviously common traits of anyone with social anxiety. But so this guy, he was like the embodiment of the complete opposite person. Every trait he had was a trait that I wish that I had in work. He, you know, he was kind of an asshole sometimes, but he wasn't like, not everyone hated him. Like he was liked by the people he would talk to. He wasn't like, he was kind of like known as like lazy or like an asshole, but he wasn't known as like a cunt. Like he his actions were like assholey, but he would never like treat you like shit, you know? He had like a lot of charisma. That's kind of what made him like, you know, I really like people who are like confident and charismatic. That's a huge thing for me. Not just in like people that I'm interested in, like just in general. Like as someone with social anxiety, I always look at traits that I wish I had in other people, and that charisma, that ability to just like talk to people, talk to anyone, connect to anyone is something that like I could wish for, right? Also he was like, the fact that he was a bit of an asshole, it's like I'm just a complete people pleaser. Again, that's a cause of my social anxiety. And all these little traits that I have, it was like He was like the complete opposite. Like my self-confidence, low self-confidence. He had like high self-confidence. My people pleasing. He was like the complete opposite. He didn't give a fuck what people thought about him. My like lacking social like skills, I don't know, not being socially confident. I don't think I lack social skills. I just think I'm not confident enough to bring them out. He was like the epitome of charisma. Like he would talk to anyone. He just moved. He was working in a different location and he just moved to our location. He just started talking to everyone like they were his best friend. And they weren't. And it took me so long to connect the dots that the reason why I like this person so much without actually knowing anything about them was the fact that I had limerence. Why did I have limerence? Why was I obsessed with this person? Because they were the human embodiment of everything that I wanted to be. If you took all the traits in a human that someone like me with social anxiety would want, he had like he acquired them all. And because it was a guy, just happened to be the gender I'm attracted to and also my type and good looking, it wasn't like an obsession as like, oh, I look up to you. It was like I like you, I'm attracted to you, which developed into limerence. And I like, it's just it's such a weird thing to like think about, because when you realize that it's limerence and not just like a crush, because it was way like the feelings I had for him were way too intense to be a crush, but they were like way too intense for also like not knowing that much about this person. And that's why it was a limerence. I was infatuated with this person because I wanted to be them in a way. Let's go on Reddit and I just want to see more definitions or what people think of limerence. I don't know, the definitions I'm finding here are a little bit different from TikTok. I mean, can you be in love and have limerence for someone? I don't know, probably anything is possible. But I think that it tends to be either one or the other. And I think, I don't know how, like, I'm not in other people's bodies. The reason I came to this conclusion was because I have social anxiety. And I realized that the traits that I secretly want are the traits that this person embodied. And that's why I like them. But for other people who don't have social anxiety, you know, I don't know how often people experience limerence. Maybe it's experienced by people a lot more than they think. But for me, I've never really, like I said, I've never fallen in love with someone. I don't know what that feels like. So it's hard because I don't really have anything to compare it to. But definitely took me way too long to get over this person. Way too fucking long. It took me about a year. I'd say even over a year. And now and again I think about this person and I don't want to. It's not a choice. I think mostly I'm over this person now. I can think about this person without wanting to cry about what happened or what didn't happen. But I still think about this person. And yeah, I definitely had like moments of like hatred for this person, but like, you know, I'm obsessed with them, but I hate them. Why did they do this to me? You know, but I'm like blaming it all on myself. So that's all. Let me know your thoughts, what you think. Do you disagree? Agree with me? Have you experienced limerence? Think about it before. Maybe you've experienced limerence and you didn't know. Bye, love ya.